Max bet time. What a great time to be alive. Derby day tomorrow, Cup day on Tuesday, Oaks Wednesday. This is grand final week, and I am pumped. $100 you can see there, $100 Flemington Carnival pass. Log into the King Dot Zone and take that up, $100. So what do you get for $100? We get over 50 meetings. You get every meeting on Derby Day, every meeting on Cup Day, every meeting Oaks Day, every meeting Champions Day. So over 50 meetings, all the rated prices, all the selections, all the ratings, all the comments. Let's hope it rains winners and we strip these bookies. Just one little word of warning, which has happened to me plenty of times. You get too excited, you over race. Derby Day comes, you do your ass, and then you run out of bullets and you haven't got as many, and you got to sit on the sidelines a little bit for Melbourne Cup, and you're all over the shop because you get too excited. So just budget it out is my advice. Budget out the 4 days. If you're punting over the 4 days, if you're just punting Saturday and Cup Day, budget it out so you've got half or you've got something there. If you have a strip out on Derby Day, just make sure you got enough bullets there for Cup Day and Oaks Day and whatever you're playing. Don't blow it all on one day, which we've all been guilty of, unfortunately. You can have a fill up as well, but if you have a fill up, often you knock it off the next day as well. But if you keep your head, you're much more chance to win. And they are hard, these Flemington meetings. I think Saturday in particular looks really hard. I think that a lot of the horses coming in with different form lines to Flemington and they're set for the races. You can often find roughies winning as well. And that long Flemington straight, I'm looking for horses with acceleration that are strong at the distance that can come usually down the centre or sit just off a faster tempo and power through. I'm going to look at 2 races today. I want to look at Randwick, Autumn Glow, and I want to look at the Derby as well, which I'm against the favourite there, Observer. And I want to tell you why I think Observer's short odds, and I'm going to lay Observer. But let's get into Autumn Glow and just have a look at this race. Randwick, race 8, the Golden Eagle on Saturday. So as you can imagine, Golden Bullet for Autumn Glow. I've got her top pick. I missed out on her in the Epsom. Let's just go and have a look at that Epsom run to start us off, and then we will have a look at Pangra as well. So this is the Autumn Glow Epsom win. So this was a real test for mine. I didn't back Autumn Glow in the Epsom, and I was not dirty myself, but I was upset I didn't get on because I love Autumn Glow. You know how much respect I have for Autumn Glow. This came off a fairly slower tempo, and she takes a while to get going, and then she accelerates and is really strong through the line and puts them away. So I just want to duck over to my my old form screen here and have a look at AG and just have a look at her ratings as well. So this is Autumn Glow. I'll get rid of this one and we'll just have a look here. Do a little bit of a deep dive into Autumn Glow's career. So she started off rating very highly. This for a first starter, that's big 88. Anything sort of over 80 is great for a first starter. Then goes to 88, 90. Then at her second prep, goes to a new level of 103, 105, 100, 99. So let's just have a look at that class, the class here, which I want to talk about. You can see going to a new level here in the Epsom, and the hardest race that she had been in, 108 off both figures. So this is a generic class figure. This is my own race strength figure, which is based on the competition of the race. So I'm saying the Epsom is harder than what Saturday is. A few people disagree. A few people agree. I'm just going off what my figures tell me. And that Arval, the generic class figure, well, the Golden Eagle is very low, probably because it's not a group race, I believe. So 108 to 99, but don't worry about that so much. Worry about this one, 99 to 97. For me, it's it's an easier race, a slightly easier race, and the setup is very similar. So that's why I'm keener on her, because she's proven that she's done it at that level. What else I want to show you here with Autumn Glow is the sectional figure. So if we just scroll across here to her 600 settled, last 600 and last 200 figures here, you'll see that all these are above 100, which is very, very unusual, off decent early tempos as well. So she went 95 here and settled fourth, but has rattled off a 120 and a 111. So there's very consistent high figures. Which I love, but what else I love is that she can do a 111 off a 130, a 111 and a 132 off a 79. But then she can also back up off a 95, which is a faster, and do 120 and 111. So these last 200 figures are very consistent, even though the two 600 figures are sometimes slower. A 60 does a 103, and also faster, 95 does a 111. So she can sprint off fast tempos and she can sprint off slow tempos, which is the sign of an extremely high class horse. Um, let's get back over to the King Zone and now talk about Pangra Tower, who I think is the danger coming over from Japan. Pangra, let's go and have a look at his last two runs. So he's won a Group 3 and a Group 1, his last two. So Autumn Glow we can get rid of. So Pangra, back in May, wins the Group 1, the Mile Cup, the Group 1. So that's him, widest runner. Let's roll the tape. Widest runner, green cap out here. And you can see he's late, sat wide. Obviously, as well, came 10 wide on the corner. But look at him let down here. He's obviously got a fair bit of ability. Off the numbers that I get, I don't do ratings for Japan myself, but off the numbers that I get, he's coming in at 4 points lower than what Autumn Glow is. And I'd take some off for that as well, for the fact that he's travelling and also ridden by a jockey who doesn't have a lot of experience at riding in Australian races. So let's get rid of that one and then go and have a look at his last win in the Keeneland Cup here. So this is him in the red cap, and once again he hits the line strongly. We got cover here. He sat about, I don't know, what is it, 6th or 7th, pulled round, hits the line well again, yellow with the red cap. But he did get cover, not a bit of cover early, but then sort of for the last 800 or 1,000 metres did get cover, got a nice trail into the race, but did go wide again, but slingshot. But you can see how strong he is through the line. My main concern with him is that he's going to get behind. He's going to get behind Autumn Glow. And with that acceleration that Autumn Glow has, I don't know whether he will be able to run down Autumn Glow, but I do think he's the danger to Autumn Glow because he is the unknown, and we don't always, ratings as we know, don't always come to fruition. But I think it's just a guide. That rating is a guide as to where he sits against Autumn Glow. He's clearly a talented horse, as I said, and he is the danger. But can he beat Autumn Glow? I don't think so. I think $2 is a good price for Autumn Glow. Let's talk about Evaporate's going well. I just don't know if Evaporate can knock over a horse like Autumn Glow. So Evaporate's ratings, if we go and have a quick look back over here and just have a quick look at Evaporate's ratings compared to an Autumn Glow. The Autumn Glow's still got upside, whereas Evaporate, you can see Evaporate's start of his career in the 70s, low 70s, and slowly worked his way up. And he's now peak rating last start of 99. Still didn't win the race, but peak rating of 99. So Evaporate's never gone over 100. So would have to completely go to a new level to win this race. I've marked, which I'll go down and have a look at the prices later after, but I've marked Linebacker $12. Impressive win last start, Linebacker in an easier race. But what I want to do is just go and have a look at Linebacker's ratings, and also, so Linebacker's never gone to 100 either, did a 98 last start, winning off a slow pace. And this is what concerns me with Linebacker, is if we just go over to these sectionals here, you can see when Linebacker, so let's just go through these settle positions for Linebacker. So first two races, first and second, won them both, then settled fourth, ran second, then settled ninth and eighth in these two, ran fourth and sixth, then settled led and ran second, an improved run. Then settled eighth, ran sixth, then settled second, came out and won, then settled got back to 16th. I think that was in the Donny. Ran 8th. And then, where are we? Sorry. And then settled 4th and 4th. Ran 7th. Then came out and won, sitting on pace, sitting wide, but sitting on pace. And it was a very good, a strong win. It was well backed. 1,300 goes to 1,500. What concerns me is the pace in this race. And I've got Linebacker off my map sitting 10th. I don't think it would be that far back at all, but I think he will probably be 6th, 7th, 8th. Has drawn all right in 5, so I think Zach Lloyd should be looking to push forward, but this race pressure of 22 or predicted pace is very fast, very, very fast. You've got speed horses like Fully Lit in this race who are going to push forward. Shangri-La Spring also going to push forward, and I think Linebacker is going to be up against it. So it's going to come down to a sprint in the end, and I just think that the reason why I like Autumn Glow in this race so much is because I think she's the most versatile horse. I think she's got the best sprint under pressure, and I think she'll get the job done in a very similar class race to the Epsom. Let's just go and have a look at the race analysis. You can see gold there in race strength, Cam, value, I think, class speed, weight as well. Race pressure, I'm not saying it completely suits her. It suits more horses that are going to race off the pace like Evaporate or Pangra even, who I think will get back further. I think Pangra will be further back than Autumn Glow and Linebacker and have to run them down as well. Let's get down to class speed weight. You can see 100. This one's interesting. If we just look at the cam here, you can see if we just go to acceleration, you can see the acceleration with these horses, the top ones around that 110. And then we go to Autumn Glow, who punches out a 120 acceleration. And the reason for that 120 acceleration is because she can do it off a faster pace. Let's have a look at how I've priced them. Evaporate $12, currently about 10. Linebacker, a Mark 12, $6 there for Linebacker, which I think is under the odds and I think will drift. I'm going to duck over and have a look at the market and see what the betting's done in a sec as well. All these horses, I just think it's a bridge too far for a lot of these other horses around that 20-1 and the roughies. I don't think are in the race at all. Pangra, I think's a danger. Getting out to a reasonable price at $8. I'm not going to save on Pangra though, for the reasons already mentioned. Then we go to possibly my favourite horse, Autumn Glow. I think she's an absolute star. I've marked her 170. I have taken $2.20 early. Let's just duck over and have a look at the market and what she's trading at the moment. Someone taking on Betfair at the moment at $2. Boombet leading the way at $2.05. They did bet $2.20. I took $2.20 yesterday as well. Got a little bit on at $2.20, not a huge amount because I can't get on with those MBLs, but I did get on with a few of the bookies at $2.20. I think she'll start odds on. I think they'll keep backing her. Let's see if there's been any money for the Japanese horse Pangra. I just got to line this up because it gets out of whack. Here we go, Pangra. That's not working. Pangra 7 out to 750 with Ladbrokes. Boombet at 810, 660 out to 810. Sportsbet and Tab aren't loading, but what I can see, 940 Betfair. Not much money around for Pangra. I think I wouldn't be surprised if I don't think he's going to drift that much from the $8, to be honest with you. I think Linebacker is going to start at $8 plus. Linebacker hasn't moved there, just having trouble loading his prices. Boombet's shorter, but hasn't really firmed. Hasn't been money for anything from what I can see, apart from the favourite Autumn Glow. Evaporate's pretty solid there around that $10 mark. My tip for the SPs in this race would be Evaporate around 10, Linebacker at $8 plus, Pangra at around $8.50, and Autumn Glow at around $1.80, at around the $1.80 mark. So that's it for that race. Let's move on to the Derby. and have a look at this race and talk about why I think Observer is under the odds. So, um, here are my selections. You can see I haven't put Observer in the top 4. So these selections are based on what I believe is value rather than what I believe is going to win this race. If you said to me, pick one horse to win this race and you can only pick one, I would pick Observer. But this game's all about value, not about picking winners, as we've talked about. And I have priced Observer $3, currently $2.15. A lay at the moment because of this price against this price. It's not because I don't think Observer can win the race. I do think Observer can win. I think Observer's the horse to beat, but I think $2.15 is under the odds. So let's just go back and have a look at Observer's last win, which was at the Valley. I'm going to roll the tape here, and that's Observer in front. Got pretty easy sectionals in front, I thought. I want to pause it here for 1 sec. I want to look at 2 horses. I want to look at I want to look at Options, who settles last fence. Options in this race was around the $5.50 mark, pretty well backed. And O'Shamus here, both these horses, and also Providence here, which gets out and runs home for a second. So these horses run second, third, and fourth in the race here. Look at Options in particular. Never gets a crack at them at all. Observer at the Valley is often gone at the Valley. Hard to run down with that shoot off the bend. But look at he's down on the line here too. So I'm just going to pause it here again. This is Providence coming home. Options here. O'Shamus got a little bit held up here. We'll roll the tape. Sits up in the saddle. Observer ease to the line, which I don't really like it at all as well. And you can see Providence hitting the line. You can see O'Shamus. You can see Options back here who never got a run. Let's just have a look at Options again in this race, because I don't know what's going on here with Options. Just never got out at all. But 2,500 metres at Flemington is a completely different story to what the Valley is. Just have a look at him here. Have a look. He never gets a crack at all. And then once he gets out, he runs home pretty well without saying, oh, yeah, he really attacked the line. Look at him. But he never gets momentum. And at Moonee Valley, momentum is huge. Coming to Flemington, we need horses who are strong at 2,500 metres, and you're going to get time to build. You don't get time to build so much, especially when you're on the fence there at Moonee Valley. So let's get down and talk about I'm going to go back and have a look at the favourite first on my screen here. So Observer. Why do I not think Observer is good odds? I don't think Observer is good odds for the first reason being that I think Observer is going to face more pressure here. So if you have a look at this is coming out of I'm not saying Observer can't handle pressure, but over 2,500 metres going from 2,000 metres from Moonee Valley to Flemington is a completely different story in my opinion. You've got horses drawn out wide. You've got 2 of them. You've got High Vol, who's drawn out in 15. And you've got the other horse that's going to go forward, which I had. So I've got Observer leading. I've got High Vol second. And I've got another horse that's going to go forward here, Matsuda. Matsuda, drawn out in barrier 19, probably coming to about 15. High Vol will come into about 11. But these horses are going to go forward from the wide gates. And one thing, I don't think these horses can win Matsuda and High Vol, but they are going to put more pressure on to Observer. I won't show you the track map for the 2,500 metres at Flemington, but it is a very short run to the first turn. And horses need to get across. So these horses will go forward. They will put pressure into the race. Observer, if Observer is drawn wide, I'd be more heavily against Observer. Zara, who's drawn in barrier 4, I actually don't think he'll lead. I think we'll sit third or fourth fence on a faster tempo. So that's the first reason why I don't like Observer. 2,500 metres for the first time in a high pressure race and having to go down the Flemington Straight as opposed to the Valley. Second reason why I think Observer, and this is an interesting one, and I'd like your opinion on this. This is just something that I saw in Observer's form. This run here, the only time that he's failed, $1.90, Flemington, third up into a prep. Looked like he'd come to the end of his prep. There was no excuse for this failure. He just didn't go on the day. 72 rating, obviously very low. Why he didn't go on the rating on the day, there's no real explanation. But the pattern is there. There's a pattern there, third up. We didn't do it third up. The Valley came out and won. But pushing forward again, there is a history of potentially doing that and just running out of juice at the end of a prep, which all horses do. But I think going to 2,500, so we've gone from 1,300 to 1,600 to 2,000, now to 2,500. I think that it's a risk at the price that Observer isn't going to turn up and could fail. And it's not the not the silliest idea to play trifectas and Quinellas exotics with Observer missing a place. If that pressure comes on and if he's at the end of his prep and you get some huge value boxing up 6 horses in a Quinella or trifecta and getting a result with Observer out. So that's it as far as Observer goes for me. I just want to talk about a couple of the other horses and why they can improve. So none of these horses have been to 2,500. A lot have been to 1,800, 2,000, 2,200. But this is an unknown going to 2,500. And we've seen a lot of upsets in the past in derbies where horses improve and horses go to new levels because they're better suited. And I said on the Saturday set that we sort of know how good Observer is. And by that, I mean, we know that he can do a high rating, but we don't know whether these other horses over 2,500 can improve and go to a new level. A horse like Options that we saw held up, is he going to improve over that 2,400 metres? Providence, we saw flash home. Can he go to a new level? O'Shamus, we saw held up. Horse like Autumn Mystery, who's going to have to slot in and go back from that barrier. These horses look strong to me, strong 2,500 metre horses. And off that fast pace, you're going to have to be a strong 2,500 metre horse. I'm not saying Observer isn't a strong 2,500 metre horse, but what I am saying is that we don't know. We don't know, and we're being asked to take $2.15 to find out. And for me, that's a very short price. Even a horse like Akora, who will get probably 80, 100 to 1 about Akora, been unlucky his last 2 starts. Yes, does need to go to a completely new level. But this race surprises. The other thing is that I think you're going to get horses that want to push forward. I think this pace is going to be fast. Like you're going to have tactics to put Observer off his game here, which we've seen in previous derbies as well. Especially with horses drawn wide like High Vol. So there's my market. Got Observer $3. I'll just quickly scroll down these. O'Shamus on the mark, $14. Engine of War, 23. Another horse that could surprise, and he is in the race as well. There's a lot of these horses. I'd like to see Arabian Prince get a run here too. I think is a horse that has a lot of ability and would be suited over the 2,500 metres. So that's it. I probably won't punt in this race. I'll probably just get on the fair and lay Observer, I think, and have the whole field going for me rather than getting on there and laying. Let's have a look what Observer is. Getting on there and laying. Sorry, I'm lost my train of thought. Yeah, I'm going to get on the fair and lay Observer rather than trying to pick the winner, I think, because it's just so open. So it's 10 to 1 or $7.50, boom bet 760 leading the way. So Observer at the moment is pretty solid around that 220 mark. I think just due to the ratings, I think Observer's going to stick. I don't think it's going to be a huge drifter at all, Observer. It wouldn't surprise me if I'm laying Observer at the end at $2. So that's it from me. 2 races, Derby Day, Cup Day on Tuesday, obviously. So my plan is to put out I'm going to put out the episode 4 and tell you who I'm going down to Melbourne to back to win the Cup as well. I've got a few there at the moment, which I put on my shortlist in episode 3. I want to see the barrier draw on Saturday night. I'm going to do some more work this afternoon on the Cup because the rains are coming. A few are in doubt. I saw Absurd was in doubt. So it'll be out Saturday night, my final preview with my ticks and crosses on the 10 factors as well. Each horse is going to have a score, and then I'll go through that and I'll tell you who I'm going to be on down at the caller card on Monday, which I'm really looking forward to going down and giving it to those bookies on Monday as well. Then Tuesday, I'll be back in the office plying my trade on Cup Day. There's just so much racing on. It's very, very exciting. Stay in the game, stay in the zone. I'll see you Saturday night for my Cup preview.
Think, is this a bet you really want to place? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.